Hi, this is part of a four-part series which is a crash course in Wyoming politics and Wyoming government. In this segment, I'll talk about Wyoming's judiciary. I'm Jason McConnell. I'm an assistant professor of political science in the School of Politics, Public Affairs, and International Studies in the University of Wyoming's College of Arts and Sciences. So let's talk for a moment about the structure of Wyoming's courts. At the top of the organizational chart, we have one state Supreme Court. It is the high court of our state court system. It hears appeals from the district courts, which are below it, of which we have 23. Each of Wyoming's district courts can hear criminal cases of unlimited scope, and they can hear appeals from both municipal or city courts and from the state circuit courts below them. So the lowest rung of our Wyoming state court system would be the circuit courts, of which we have 28. These are courts of limited jurisdiction. They can't hear everything. So a Wyoming circuit court can hear civil cases up to a value of $7,000. If the dispute in hand is worth more than $7,000, then it wouldn't be appropriate to take that to a circuit court. You would have to file it in a Wyoming district court. Follow me? Okay, on criminal matters, state circuit courts can also hear misdemeanor cases, but notice they can't hear felonies. So, felony cases are actually not tried in circuit courts at all. They're tried at the district court level. Now again, working my way back up the org chart, if one of the parties before a district court doesn't like the outcome, they might be able to appeal that to the Wyoming State Supreme Court. So let's talk about who these people are. How do we get judges? How do we hold on to them? So on and so forth. So generally, in schemes across the country, states try to strike a balance between some sort of independence from the political branches and then also notions of accountability. In Wyoming, we actually try to strike a very tight balance between the two because generally you want judges to be independent of local politics or even statewide politics, so that some sort of hot-burning political issue doesn't influence their decision in the case before them. Now, that being said, the people generally want their judges to also be responsive. What I'm talking about is, generally the people get very unhappy if they perceive some judge has a job and is simply using it to impose their will however they want, to the contrary of the will of the people. So that's this notion of accountability. Should judges be accountable to the people? Okay, here's how Wyoming strikes a balance between the two. First, let's talk about judicial selection. In Wyoming, it's a four-stage process. First, if a vacancy opens up, if there's an empty judgeship in Wyoming, Wyoming's Judicial Nominating Commission will nominate a list of judges to the governor. The governor will then look at that list and appoint one person off that list to fill that role in that vacant judgeship. Okay, so that's how we get them. How do we keep them accountable? Well, in Wyoming, we have this system of a retention vote. So once a judge arrives at the bench after their appointment by the governor, their name will actually show up on the election ballot in the next general election right after their appointment. That's to say, on a certain time cycle. So, retention votes for state Supreme Court justices happen every 8 years, for district court judges every 6 years, and for circuit court judges every 4. So in the upcoming election in November of 2020, we'll see some judges on ballots across the state of Wyoming, depending upon where that judge is in their retention vote cycle. So, want to learn more? We'd love to see you in one of our Political Science 1000 classes. That's Intro to American and Wyoming Government. We'd love to see you as a student there. We offer sections both in person and online in the fall, spring, and summer semesters. That being said, if you've already fulfilled your V1 requirement at the University of Wyoming, you can also just buy our textbook. It's on sale at the university store, or you can find an e-copy at vitalsource.com. That book's called The Equality State, Government and Politics in Wyoming. We're currently on the 9th edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.